Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I'm going to talk to you about the G.I. Joe Retro Wave 3 of the Retro Collection. It's about each one of these figures. We're going to talk about comparisons, show them versus the vintage, versus the first figures they're based on or just reissued from. And we're also going to talk about some of the other overlying issues with this line, such as price, such as what they're doing with it, what they're calling it. But we're going to get into all this coming up. So I want to start out talking about Cobra Commander. I think the Cobra Commander is the best part of this set. I think of the figures, it's the one I like the most, and good thing because he's packed 2 per case, and so he's going to be readily available or easier to get than, say, the single pack figure. But getting into it, let's look at the card backs. So comparing these card backs side to side, you can see that again, the 25th anniversary figures look more like the original figures, except the one big difference with these retro collections, you're getting the original type of a punch instead of this feature here. Now this feature here, with the way they would cut that out, is more effective on the toy aisles, but it's almost like, well, we don't expect to hang them on the pegs because we're not going to send that many to the stores. But that punch there is more accurate to back in the day. But the overall card back design and the way it looks, this feels more like a vintage figure or a retro figure than what we're getting with this one. And then looking at this package here, and I'm going to lose that guy. He's going to fall. But looking at this, it looks good. This should have been like a separate bubble of its own. And the bubble is just so big. Like, there's no need for it to be that thick. Yeah, they included the stand and all that, but there's no need for it to be that thick of a bubble. It's just a huge bubble. It's crazy. I don't really like that. We're looking at the back of it, and here's the back. Again, these cards are so thin. They're wavy. They're thin and wavy. I don't know. They just don't hold up very well. Shows figures that we have gotten before, and so the 3 in this wave and some from the other wave. And I guess that's the Wave 2. So Wave 2 and Wave 3 are on the back here. Of course, Scarlet I've never seen in the store, and it's strange. I've never seen her in the store, and probably will never just get her. But that's what the 25th anniversary package looks like on the back. So they've switched around where the file card goes, and they just don't make it look as retro as the 25th anniversary was. I love the 25th anniversary. I wish I would have bought more of them. I don't know why I was just so behind on the times there, but whatever. I got some. Now, looking at this figure, he actually does look good. So again, I said he's the best one. They include this figure stand, which is great because I do like having figures that can stand and not having issues with their standing. But all around, I think everything about this figure looks good, except there's a little bit of some articulation that maybe I'm doing something wrong, but his elbow, I can't get much more than that out of his elbow. Again, I don't really need much more than that, so I guess it's not a huge complaint. He still looks good. I mean, he could, if you had a double elbow joint, if I'm missing it somehow, I don't see how I'd be missing it, but if he had the double elbow, he could like raise his fist up and yell. But let's get into looking at this guy real close. I do like his colors. I do like everything about him. He's got a removable helmet. Nice and shiny. Looks good. The helmet stays on nice and tight, which I like that. His head's a lot bigger than I think the original one, but we'll do comparisons here in just a second. Not a whole lot. Gosh, see, that's another thing. All these, the joints on all of them, seem like they don't want to move. They're just super tight. And I always feel like I'm going to break them moving them. And it's very possible you could break them. Waist swivel. We've got a lot of movement, like a ball joint there. And then not much going on there. Double jointed knee. That's kind of cool. This knife here is removable. And that's a new addition that they didn't have in the 25th anniversary. And they certainly didn't have it in the vintage line. A little bit of movement in the foot. But he's pretty stable. He'll stand on his own. Well, I think. Come on. Well, with enough time, he'll stand on his own. But I like having him in a stand anyway. I do like some more things about this guy. I like his stripe down the side. Kind of wish they would have painted this piece too. But the stripe on that one side, he's got the paint here, a nice tapograph right there. So anyway, with all that, just a quick look at the figure there. I think he's the best figure. He looks good. He's pretty much exactly what you'd want out of a Cobra Commander for the retro line, and I would like to see him also in the classified line. So let's look at him next to the 25th anniversary. Now, I'm not exactly sure 100% which one this came with, so let's move him back, and then we can zoom in just a little bit here. I'm not exactly sure which one this came with, but if you look at both of these, you can see a few things, like the head is much bigger on this one, and this helmet falls off too easy. I think this looks better than this does, and I always kind of thought like the helmet seemed weird on this one, but anyway, everything else seems to look pretty much the same. Like, it's almost like it's the same figure here for a lot of this, except they remolded this section to take the dagger, so his knife fits in there. So that's different, and that's kind of cool. Stripe down the side. Now, on the 25th anniversary, I don't know what version I have, but the 25th anniversary one in the card back has, you can't really see it that well, it has the stripe like it's supposed to. So again, I don't know where I've got that one from. It was loose and cheap, so that's how I've got it. But then looking at the back, the same kind of gun holder, that one's kind of got like a gold to it. So comparing this guy to the vintage version, he is much taller, and he does look more accurate to the show and all of that. I mean, what you'd expect with the vintage version. He does have more articulation with that double jointed knee in there, and of course being able to have his dagger. I mean, that's something we've always kind of wanted, was all the little stuff that they put on the figure. We would have liked to have been able to take the dagger off and throw the ninja stars on on Storm Shadow and those kinds of things. But it does not have a removable helmet. This has a removable helmet, which kind of, I'm thankful this didn't have a removable helmet. It probably would have gotten lost back in the day. But he has the same kind of spot. Now, I don't know why I don't have his gun in there, but there it is. The same idea on how you do the gun. It is reversed, so it would actually be hanging with the handle down on the vintage one here. But again, looks good, true to the original, and a true upgrade. Again, 25th anniversary, nothing new there. So here he is next to what they've given us in the classified line, and I will tell you that, number one, I'm disappointed in what they did with the classified line for Cobra Commander. He is better than some of the other ones in classified, but I truly wanted this, exactly this, with better articulation actually, in the classified line. I guarantee you they'll eventually make this exact version of Cobra Commander. There's just no doubt in my mind. And then all these will get put back in their boxes and stored away and hidden away, and all you'll ever see on shelves is this guy, because this one is not the best. Alright, we're going to get into talking about Duke real quick. I gotta say, Duke is probably the worst they did in this wave. And I can't believe, how do you mess up a Duke figure? Like, how do you have a good Duke figure? A good Duke figure. They already had a good Duke figure. And how do you mess them up? We'll talk about that. But first, we're going to talk about the packaging. So again, we got the curled packaging thing going on. It's all of them I get are kind of curled like that. And let's bring this up just a bit. And compared to the 25th anniversary, we have the same things with the Cobra Commander with the punch up top. But overall, I still think I like 25th anniversary way more. The way they packaged it, I would have liked it to go even closer to the originals, but I'm okay. I'm okay with kind of this, and I'm getting used to this strange, super long, card-long bubble that they're doing. Weird. I mean, how come they can't get it to match the original? I guess they don't want any of the accessories just bouncing around in there like they did back in the 80s. Like, accessories literally just bounce around in the packaging, so they don't want to do that anymore. But looking at it, this is a bit more brilliant of a card back. The colors pop a little bit better. He looks like he's squished down and narrower and much broader in this picture here. So kind of a difference there. Quick look at the back and the differences. Then we'll move on to the figure. And yes, there it is. Same thing with Cobra Commander. I got this one at TJ Maxx for $4 because $4.50 at Walmart was way too much. And I thought they were trying to dupe us with this foil card variant. And I got a few. I got a few of the foil cards, and I was like, I don't know if it's for me or not. Maybe I should have gone a little further with it. So here is the Duke figure, and I have to say it just looks like the 25th anniversary figure. I haven't opened one up yet, so I don't know if everything is exactly the same or different. I mean, I can tell that the gun is different, so the bandolier is different, the face is different, and of course the coloring all around is different. Let's look at this guy. Look at the face. He's supposed to be yelling, "Yo, Joe. Yo, Joe." And I just think that it didn't work out very well. He looks like a Darren. You know, the Karen memes. Now he's the Darren meme. This isn't what I think of when I think of Duke. Now, maybe, hey, you've got the 25th anniversary one. That's a serious one. And this is going into battle, Duke. I don't know. This thing here can actually pop off. Or if you want to, you could cut it and make it fit to be proper. It looks terrible. It just looks terrible. I don't know why they did that. Maybe I'm missing something on that point. So this figure is kind of a miss. Now the colors, why so bright yellow? Why so bright of the green? It's not right. I don't know. I wanted a Duke because my Duke sucks. My vintage one sucks. I was just going to put them next to my vintage one and kind of make up the gap there. I'm going to mix these with my vintage, but I don't know. Anyway, he does have this pistol, and he does hold it well. So there's that. And the pistol goes into the holster, and I like that. I like little things like that. That works out really well. And his gun, it works. He has rotatable forearm, so his forearm moves, which gives a better sculpt, and I do like that. I do like that better than, I guess, what they did on the other one, where they rotate at the wrist. So that's a good thing right there. So there's a couple of improvements here. He does have the double jointed knees, has his stand, but there's some good things and some bad things. So let's look at him versus the 25th anniversary, and what you're going to see is I don't have an open 25th anniversary. I'm not going to. I like them in the package. See, I'm kind of an in package. I still have a lot of, like 17 of my original ones from a kid in the package. So you don't get a backpack with this guy. So you get them in the 25th anniversary, and you get a bigger gun, which I actually think this gun that comes with the retro looks closer than what you get with this. And it looks like you rotate at the wrist instead of closer up, so they made an improvement there. But I like almost everything about the 25th anniversary better than this guy. So I think the 25th anniversary is probably fetching a huge price now that this thing's a bit of a fail. I like the strap here, correct, versus the whatever he's wearing. I don't know. Disappointed in this figure, I got to tell you. Especially at the price point of $13. So this is a good time to talk about the $13 price point. So I got my 25th anniversaries for $4.50 at Walmart. I have to admit that if you had a $4.50 figure, 2% inflation, by now they should be $6 a figure. And they're charging $13 a figure. Over double what they should be charging. And then where's the problem in that? The problem in that is that they don't have any licensing fees. So that's usually what they complain about. Well, they don't pay licensing fee. They complain about tooling, having a new tooling. These are existing figures. And then they talk about... well, I guess plastic, I mean, you can't control that, but there's not much plastic in this. Labor, okay, that goes up, manufacturing costs. But unless inflation has been 20% for the last 13 years or something like that, there's no excuse for this thing costing $13. So here he is next to the vintage Duke. And again, I like the colors of, as you can still see the colors over here, of the 25th anniversary far more than these new brighter colors that are unwarranted. I like that he needs a backpack. He doesn't have a backpack. Oh, so many things. So little time to complain about it. Not just kidding. But I did want something to kind of replace I bought my friend's collection. He really played with this Duke hard, and I can't seem to get the face cleaned up as much as I've used a bunch of different chemicals and scrub pads and stuff. Can't get all that off there. I don't know exactly what's going on. I think he actually marked it up with a marker or something. Anyhow, looking at them side by side, I did want something to have in my collection that looked good. Maybe I'll just have to get another vintage Duke. Who knows? So here is the Duke next to the classified Duke. And I don't think that they did a bad job of the classified Duke. It doesn't look like Duke. Face doesn't look like Duke. And back heavy because of the backpack. But overall in the classified line is one of the better ones in my opinion in the classified line. I think they hit the nail closer to the nail on the head, with this figure to the classified. I think I like the classified one way better than what they did with this guy. Lastly, I want to talk about Lady J, and again, I think it was a good character. I don't know why they're short packing the female characters, knowing that actually I think female characters are in higher demand than the male characters for whatever reason. But we're going to talk about this, and this is a strange one. Like, I don't really understand why they're doing it, but I don't have a loose version of her. So we're going to talk about her, talk about the packaging, talk about her in the packaging, and talk about who she really is. Here she is in her packaging, and of course, side by side, I do like the packaging look better on the 25th anniversary again, still. Even though it has the punch and the brighter colors. I guess mine would have looked brighter had I not gone with the foil version of her. Maybe it's the only one I found. Maybe I found her on sale. I don't know. I don't see a sale tag, but probably should get to taking those off. Anyhow, there's a lot about this figure that's kind of strange. And if you look at it side by side, you notice these aren't the same figure. So this is a different version of Lady J that they put out, which I don't know. I think this might be the better version too. So I'm not upset and I'm not hating on it at all versus this Lady J. But why did we not get the 25th anniversary one? I don't know. But I'm going to show you which figure it actually is. It's actually this Lady J in the Social Clash, the Lady J versus Baroness. And I got to point out a couple things about this. First of all, the slew of weapons that come with this Lady J, just a ton of weapons. And this Baroness, I picked this setup for the Baroness because the Baroness that I got on the 25th anniversary card was blue, and I wanted one with the standard black outfit. And so for that, we got the Lady J, and I was like, oh, you know what? I like Lady J anyway, so it's kind of cool to have her, and she looks different than my 25th anniversary, so that's cool. But now they're giving us that same figure with brighter green colors, and the brighter green color, neither one of them matched the vintage one 100%, and here is the vintage one. So kind of getting an idea of how they look next to the vintage one in color-wise and all of that. So again, I'm not hating on this figure. This is definitely not the worst figure of the wave. I like it. I don't really know if they picked the right one, but I'm happy with it. Hopefully get another one so I can open it. But there she is, side by side with the vintage one. Looking good. We're about to get the classified one. I can't do a classified review or comparison, so there's that. But looking good. Looking good. I don't know much more about the figure, like what all can get tucked and stowed, but I don't think there's much that she has, like a dagger or anything. I don't think she has all that. I don't think she needs a video camera or whatever she comes with in the vintage era, but there it is. Looking good. I'm happy with her for what she does. So this has been my look at the G.I. Joe Retro Collection Wave 3. I think that it's an okay wave. I actually like the Wave 2 better. I like Roadblock as the character. I like Destro as the character. The Cobra Commander carried over and added that little gimmick with the dagger is nice. The ability to get your hands on the Lady J and that one that wasn't in the 25th anniversary, now you have her in a vintage style card back. Anything you didn't get in 25th anniversary that you're going to get on a vintage card back's, I guess, a good idea with this, and not knowing what they were thinking with Duke. I mean, don't ruin the best character, right? Well, they did it. They didn't kill him in the 87 movie, but they killed him in this figure. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think? Like, subscribe to the Hanger out.